You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is the host of apocalyptic mess. As the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosion sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Welcome to the 62nd edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the second episode of Season 7. We are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. Hi, howdy, howdy, howdy. I'm Andrew. Welcome to the Fallout Feed Roundtable, everyone. And this evening, I am joined by two fancy fellows. Hello, Ray. Hi, Ray. How's it going?
Evening, Andrew. Everything's great.
Wonderful to have you this evening. And also from the Xbox Stream team chiming in for his first time on the Fallout Feed. Welcome to the show, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Andrew. How's it going?
Wonderful. Thank you for hopping on the show with us tonight.
My pleasure.
So we've been playing some Fallout, everyone. Fallout 76, I can only assume, but I have seen some people still post stuff about Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 in the group recently. So I guess some people are still playing along with the old games and everything too. So great Fallout Feed community over there. Join our Facebook group, everyone, where we get most of our good conversating done. So we've been playing some Fallout. We've got some quests to get through for the round table. And we've got Reclamation Day, the very first quest, leaving the vault. And our second quest is First Contact. So we'll be visiting with the Overseer's camp as well. And also joining us this evening, all the way from wherever she's calling in from. Hello, Sarah. How are you tonight? She's trying to log in. All right. Sarah will hop on when I just saw her break into the room. So chime in, Sarah, and say good evening when you get everything situated there.
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Hey,
wonderful. How's it going?
Wonderful. How are you guys?
Wonderful, wonderful. So Yay. I guess we should briefly go around and check in with the the foodie aspect of our podcast. How's everyone's holiday? Did everyone have any really good meals or anything? Ray, I saw you were messing around with the sous vide again on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah. Made for a killer standing rib roast.
And
nice.
I was jealous when I saw your lacquered bacon get posted there.
Yeah. Love me some lacquered bacon.
Oh,
the only thing that goes better with bacon is bacon and sugar.
Got Yum. Sugar onto it. Good stuff. Yeah, we kind of had a different spread for Christmas this year. We usually did the typical, turkey and ham and mashed potatoes, gravy, that sort of stuff. At my mom's on Christmas Eve, we actually did a fondue party, which I hadn't done fondue since I was like a little kid. So it was really fun to do that again. Back in the early 80s, we used to do it a lot. It was kind of a thing, I guess a sort of holdover from the 70s. Indiana, everyone out there who doesn't know, you have to understand everything in Indiana happens about 10, 15 years after it happens elsewhere in the country. So fondue didn't make it to us till the 80s. But we had a great little time. I hadn't done it in such a long time. It was fun to because fondue's, it's not the fast man's game, if you know what I mean. It promotes lots of sitting around and talking, because you don't just have your food in front of you and you eat it real quick and you're done. It's like you're actually cooking your own food as you go. If you have like the little vat of oil, cooking your little raw meats and stuff, do the little cheese over there, cover all the stuff. So that was a little different that we've done. It was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sarah, do you have a good spread? Do you have a good holiday?
Oh, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty traditional type stuff. On Christmas Eve, we had a barbecue and had hamburgers and chili and all that kind of fun stuff.
You just said traditional, and then you said you had a fucking barbecue for Christmas. Are you in Australia?
Well, for Christmas Eve, we had a barbecue. I don't know. Don't you do Like crock pot nonsense. Wait, you have barbecue too?
The crockpot barbecue, Andrew.
Yeah, that's. But you said you had a barbecue. That's different than having like crock pot barbecue. Like I imagine having a barbecue is busting out the grills, getting charcoal going over there. The crock pot barbecue is just a little tiny, mini crock pot over in the corner. This is not a big to do or anything, but to have a barbecue sounds like a kind of a big deal. Is that a tradition in your family? Grilling out?
So usually on Christmas Eve, we go over to my husband's grandmother's house, and we have something different every year, but it's not traditional Christmas food. Christmas food is for like Christmas Day. So we'll do tamales one year, or we'll do a barbecue, or we'll do tacos or enchiladas or, lasagna, just something that's different. And then we do that side of the family's Christmas on Christmas Eve. So all the kids open their gifts after, and then we stuff ourselves full of pie, but it's just kind of like a easy, fun relief meal before Christmas Day meal, which is the traditional turkey, ham, green beans.
And you grill because you can.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it's nice where I live. There's no snow. So
and there's no snow here either. It's just 40 degrees and fucking perpetual rain for the last 12 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, even so, it's like high 40s, low 50s outside. It's not like we're hanging out there, but the men are all out there in their jackets standing next to the barbecue. So
jackets? What?
I'm saying
60 is freezing in California.
Yeah, my sister-in-law from Los Angeles came to our house a few Christmases ago, and she kept her fucking winter coat on in our house the whole time. Like, evidently our heat wasn't on enough to battle the winter. But oh man, they are not good cold weather people.
65.
Those California people. Not good at it.
We don't mind being spoiled. I'm fine with it.
Alex, sir, did you have a good holiday?
I did. It's funny Sarah mentioned tamales because I'm used to having that over Christmas. Mm-hmm. But this year, my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, she usually makes them. They're amazing, and this year she sort of dropped the ball. We didn't really have much of a Christmas meal. We just sort of hung out, and then I went home. And it was a little sad. I was like, where are the tamales? You're fired.
Right?
But leading up to Christmas, I kept with the tradition on my mom's side is Jewish. So we like to have our Chinese food, American Chinese food this time of year. So I had some of that. That was great.
That's awesome.
I believe Sarah Saylor said that they also do some sort of rotating thing on, was it a Christmas Eve or day? I don't remember, but they said they always get something different, and they're doing their Chinese thing too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Chinese food. I'll eat that any day of the year.
For sure.
Oh, me too.
It's just more candied meat, just like the lacquered bacon.
Yes.
Oh.
Cook it in a reduced sugar sauce, please.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that Ray kept us all updated on his Christmas meal. It was awesome to watch you cook your meat. I don't know. It's just so weird to me still that you cook it in like a bath.
Yep. 136 degree bath water.
So weird.
He was doing it on a washing machine. And I thought it was going to leak or something. Cause like in Indiana, when we're scared we're going to have power outages, we fill our washers with ice, just in case we need to freeze stuff.
You just put ice, like ice cubes, inside of your washer barrel?
Yeah. That's the one place in your house where you can fill it up and drain. Well, your bathtub too. You can drain it really easily.
I guess that's true. I've never thought of that.
That's why. Either your washing machine or your bathtub, fill it with ice if you're going to be without power for a couple days. And
yeah, because your fridge isn't going to work, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if it's during a snowstorm, just fucking set your refrigerated items outside on your back porch too.
That's what I was going to say. Just throw them in a snowbank or...
Yeah. It's more of a summer thing.
Outside.
So great. I'm glad everyone had a wonderful holiday. If anyone missed it, please go back and check out our holiday special. I think we had a really good time putting that together. Had lots of people on and had a really fun time hanging out. Please check that out if if the festive season has not passed you by already. If you're still looking for a little bit of that holiday spirit, check out our holiday special. Posted a few episodes back. Now, coming up next week on the show, we'll be looking for feedback for the episodes that we're about to go through tonight on Reclamation Day and First Contact. Just a reminder, please send your 5-minute audio submission to thefalloutfeed@gmail.com, and we will get you on the show. If you're looking to meet up with some people to play games with on Fallout 76, do your Roundtable character with someone else maybe, you can pull up our Fallout Feed friends list. Go to asapodcasting.com, click on the Fallout Feed section of the website. There you will find our character generator, which we use to generate all of our characters that we'll be talking about this evening. And you will also find our spreadsheet. We did not include anyone's real names in the spreadsheet because we want to keep anonymity and everyone's identity super safe and secret if we can. Don't want anybody's identity getting stolen or stalkers to come kidnap anybody. So we're just our normal names, sorry, not our normal names. Our Xbox, our PS4, and our Bethesda names are all up there on the spreadsheet. If you're looking for people to play with, I highly suggest it. Got to play with Frank a little bit ago. Also, let's see, Darth Daddy. I hate that. At the same time, it's great to keep anonymity, but I can't remember 2 names for everybody. You know what I mean?
Me either.
Like I'm just gonna start calling everyone by their Xbox names instead of their real names at this point. But yeah, I've been having lots of really good time in the game. Got the Santa suit, got the reindeer, got the little animatronic waving Santa yard ornament and everything. So I'm having a good time. So let's go ahead and get into some Fallout talk for the evening then. But we should start off by every time we have a new person on the show, I like to just get a brief background history about this person's experience with Fallout. So, Alex, how many of these Fallout games have you played? What's your experience? Do you have any favorites? What's going on with Fallout and you and your history?
Well, I'm relatively new to Bethesda games compared to some people. I did start with Skyrim, so when people talk about how glorious Oblivion was and games like that, I wasn't really there for that. My first Fallout game was New Vegas. I think a friend, he lent me New Vegas and Fallout 3 simultaneously, and it was hard for me to sort of handle both at once, so I didn't play much of them. When Fallout 4 came out, though, I knew that I loved Skyrim, and I was like, I'm totally on board with this. So I played a ton of Fallout 4, and I ended up going back to New Vegas, and I played a lot of that and ended up really enjoying it, but I never did put a lot of time into Fallout 3.
How did you find our group? What caused you to stumble upon us?
Oh, I mean, when this game... Fallout 76, when this game came out, there was so much just horribleness. There still is, you've talked about it. We've all been talking about it. People with... I found the word ultra-crepidarian. It's people who talk about things they know nothing about and give opinions on stuff they know nothing about. And I was just tired of all that, so I was like, I need to find a good community. And I looked up Fallout like in podcast search, and I found this one. And then I found the community, and
nice.
It's great.
Yeah, we don't seem to have too many people here who are super detractors to the game, and if they are, they're kind of keeping their opinions to themselves. But not that they need to. This is an open forum. We are a very friendly group. No one needs to keep their opinions hidden. It's just we don't seem to have a ton of people in there who hate the game. The person who gives the most shit to the game is Michelle, who's probably put more hours into the game than anyone. I mean, maybe not Alex, but it's crazy how much Michelle plays. And he's the one posting the the video links about, and it's not trashing. Again,
no, it's very balanced.
He's bringing up very good points about what could change and what could be better about the game.
Oh, there are a ton of issues, but it's just nothing has been bad enough to keep me from playing the game,
Yeah.
And I do love it. I've been playing so much.
Yeah, so we can talk about that a little bit. In episodes past, when I've talked about, someone level 150, 130, 174 coming to save me in certain situations, or being like, well, shit, I'm here logged on. I can't really do anything because my rads are so high. When will this person log on to save my ass? I'm usually talking about Alex here. So, Alex, let's get into it a little bit. You are what our past. We used to have a host on the show, Denny, who had these different categories of gamers that he liked to describe, and you would fall into his category of a power gamer, someone who likes to use the mechanics of the game in order to advance themselves highly. It's basically leveling your character, using any exploits you can. I don't know that you use exploits or whatever, but anything that you can do to get your character more powerful. Would you like to talk a little bit about that? Is Fallout 76 just sheerly it's how many hours you spend in the game will level you, or what do you do to get to level? Because you're level 170 something now, right?
Yes, it really does come down to hours and also just a bit of know-how. And as far as exploits go, I've barely dabbled. I have friends who have taken part in duplication glitches, and they've given me things, and I feel a little dirty for holding them, but they are very fun. So, I'm not the one who created them, so I use them. And I played a lot during the beta, and this is the same character I used then. So I had all of that good head start and levels, and then just putting in tons of time. I don't even know what I'm at now. It's got to be close to 300-ish hours or so.
Wow, yeah.
Just, if you keep playing, you keep getting a lot of XP. And I will say probably 50 of my levels have to be from nuked White Springs. When that area gets nuked, these glowing ones come out, and they're worth 400 some XP apiece. And you kill very many of them, and your levels just shoot up doing that. So that's probably a good 50 of my levels.
That's an issue right there in and of itself. Ray and Sarah, have you guys gone into nuked areas where bombs have been dropped? Have you been to those areas recently?
I have not. I have seen one dropped from afar, but I've never had a hazmat suit handy to run in there yet.
Do you want to know where to find hazmat suits, or you just don't ever have one handy?
What I think I finally picked up one in my OG character. There just hasn't been a nuke gone off, because I remember picking it up and being like, "Oh yeah, finally I can go check out a nuke zone." But I haven't been playing that character recently.
I picked up a second hazmat suit today at no big spoilers here. Well, we'll do a spoiler announcement. This is now and continuing for the rest of the way a very slow spoiler cast. We are going to talk about these quests. We're going to say what happens. We're going to reveal everything, the secrets, and everything that happens in these quests. So, spoiler from here on until freaking July, if you haven't played Fallout 76. Now, the first spoiler here, there's always unless someone else picks it up. That's the thing with like power armor chassis and these hazmat suits and stuff. They will be there always until someone picks them up, and then it takes a while for them to regenerate. But there's spots where these things regenerate. The first one I found was at the Poseidon power plant upstairs. There's a little trailer on the outside of the building, but it's just looks like a little, RV hitch trailer type thing. Inside there, on top of some boxes, is the first one that I ever found. Now, I found my second one today over at the power plant Alex and I were at messing around earlier today.
Thunder Mountain.
Over at Thunder Mountain. We were getting messy over at Thunder Mountain. And I found a second one. Now, explain to me this. I was looking at the stats. They seemed absolutely identical. One was level 5 and one was level 30, though. What is the difference?
I have not seen a difference with those, which it confuses me as well. It could be the condition. I'm wondering if the condition goes faster on the lower level, but I am unsure.
Okay.
I am unsure.
Now, what would deplete the condition of a hazmat suit? Is that a radiation exposure? Or is it just people hitting you?
I think it might be both, but I'm also not sure about that.
Yeah. All right. So, Ray, have you been into one of these nuclear drop zones? What do they even call it?
Yeah, I went to one at White Springs, and I killed a festering, bloated, glowing one. But I was level probably 7 or 8, and I got a level 40 Ripper.
Oh.
As your drop from it.
Nice.
Great. In a year or two, I'll be able to use this.
I'll never use it on this character.
You'll never get to a level 40.
Yeah, I was just about to think how many roundtables have you played and how many characters have busted 40? I mean, the roundtable is the one main excuse I have for playing a character for so damn long. Like we do these seasons are like 6 months long almost sometimes. Now, Ray doesn't seem to ever, I mean, all the new listeners, Ray creates characters every 15 minutes because he always has these ideas for different roles or different builds, more likely, that he wants to try out. So, Ray, probably did you create another couple characters this week?
No, I'm because I haven't really been able to play, and so I still have my strength and endurance character that I've been, playing around with, and I think she's up to level 7 now.
Strength and endurance, those are nice, go hand in hand, much like the perception and agility. Well, are there other sort of classic builds from Fallout 4 that transfer over to Fallout 76? Well, like that, do all of them sort of come over nicely?
I mean, I think they'll all play out in some fashion or another, but it'll probably be a while before I get to the charisma and luck.
Yeah. I'm doing a luck with Mo right now. I'm started playing with my 4-year-old son. He just turned 4. He's more of a 3-year-old than a 4-year-old at this point still. But we just started a character together, and we named him Moses. And there's this really handsome-ass toon, very buff, looks great with his shirt off. And Mo's like, he looks just like me. Like,
he is shredded.
Oh, son, you're hilarious. And I have a couple pictures of him like playing piano shirtless in the sunset and stuff. It looks like he'd be on like an emo music record album cover or something. It'd be hilarious. But we're doing luck with him. We're doing a big luck character. You want to have a wild guess? I bet you Sarah might be able to guess why. Do you have anything? Is there anything about the luck card that would make my son want to choose luck every time?
I don't know.
There's a trotting kitty on the front of the luck card.
Oh, that's right.
He's always like, pick the cat card. I like the kitty card. I want the kitty cat. So we're gonna do the first 15 levels at least are gonna be all luck with that.
That
character.
is awesome.
It's gonna be my luck build.
I think that's the best idea ever.
It's because the kitty cat's cute.
You'll have to try some treasure maps with that character once you're all maxed out, because I've heard luck can affect what you get from those little mounds you dig up.
I have not collected one. I don't know how they did treasure maps in the past in the Fallout world. Have they done stuff like that in 3 or New Vegas much? I don't remember that much from 4.
Mm-mm.
In 4, if you found a map, were there maps in 4? I might be thinking of just Skyrim.
Yeah, I think just Skyrim.
Yeah, they would just lead you to a chest.
These look exactly like the Skyrim maps to me. And Alex, please feel no shame. Skyrim was also my first Bethesda game. I am also relatively new to this whole Bethesda world. I tried New Vegas before Fallout 4 came out, and I didn't like it. I was like, this game kind of stinks. It's way more clunky than even Skyrim. I thought Skyrim was way more fluid.
Oh, it took me like 6 hours to get used to the old graphics.
Yeah.
That was a little rough for me.
And then I played Fallout 4, and then we did Fallout New Vegas on a roundtable season, so I did get a good playthrough. And I do appreciate the game now. I do see why everyone loves it so much, and I do see it's not my favorite Fallout game, but I do see why it is a lot of people's favorite. So anyway, we were talking about those blast zones. before we started talking about the different builds. And you're right. People do send those nukes over to the golf course most of the time, it seems. Jess and I were on a server last night for a bunch of hours together, and we met up a little bit. Then we went and did our separate things, and met up again at the end there. But during our few hour play session, there were two different nuke blasts, like in rapid succession to each other, both at the same location. And Jess sent me a message. She's like, I'm gonna have to hop off this server because the second nuke just went off. That's gonna destabilize everything and it's gonna crash and cause problems. So I got to get out of here. So, what is that about?
Was that bottom right? Did they nuke bottom right of the map?
I'm not sure exactly. I know one of them at least was the golf course.
Okay.
I didn't even look and see where the second one was. I was just like, really? A second nuke already? I thought I had inadvertently hopped servers and traded some because I'd never seen two nukes. Like, oh, the first one just depleted. Okay, now the second one is going already. Is there a cooldown period or anything? Have you seen two nukes on one server?
Yes. There are 3 silos, so if someone launched from one, someone could be launching from another at any moment. I haven't seen 3 on a server, but I've seen 2. And if they're on top of each other, that's usually for people trying to spawn a big monster bottom right corner of the map.
Does the Scorch Beast Queen look different than a Scorch Beast?
It's larger and a little more texture, more different variant of shape to the face, I'd say. It is scary. It's big.
Yeah.
Alex,
what level does that spawn at?
Yeah, I just want to pepper you with questions all night. I'm just like so fascinated that you just like.
Oh, go ahead. What you got?
No, keep going. I'm just saying I'm really interested. I'm like really interested in this conversation. Keep going.
Okay. Well, the Scorch. I don't know if we should even really talk about the event. It's so chaotic, and it's cool, and it makes the game. The frame lag is unbelievable, but I'd say it's worth it for the laughs and the fun you have while you do it, and the craziness. But I don't know if we want to talk too much about it because it could be a little spoilery. Well,
we gave spoiler alerts.
You can go there without having completed anything, so I suppose it's fine. You know, when that area gets nuked, a little event comes up, and the Scorch Queen pops out. But it's not just her; it's every enemy in the game starts coming out of the ground.
Oh wow!
Fog crawlers, Mirelurk Queens, Death Claws, sloths, and a ton of Scorched and mutants and wolves, ants. Name it, you name it.
I still have yet to see a sloth.
They're very rare.
Or the Mothman. I did go over to the Mothman Museum yesterday or the day before, and I was severely underwhelmed. I was expecting something like the Salem Witch Museum thing in Fallout 4, like a huge building with creepy stuff.
Did you find the basement?
I don't know. Did I? Probably not. I should go back and look because it's probably just. I was just like, well, this is a weird small little building. Is there a hatch somewhere to go find the basement?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I should go back. Is there a I found some letters and stuff about a cult, and so I need to read the letters and listen to holotapes or something if I actually want to go back and try to meet this Mothman. But yeah, I need to run into these sloth guys too. I'm really interested to see them. Do they exist in a specific area of the map? Do you know?
I don't know the guaranteed spawn. I ran into one. I can't remember the name of the location. It was somewhere in the mire. And then I think I've seen them in the Cranberry Bog. So it's usually east that you will find them. Yeah, Dabney Homestead. I saw one there once. That's one of the workshops on the east side of the map, lower part of the mire.
And you see people nuking the golf course because there's just a ton of ghouls, right? It's just
the glowing ones.
The sheer number.
Yeah, and there are a lot of legendaries that come out. People like to farm the legendary items to try to get their 2 shots and instigatings and strong weapons.
Now, I find when I go over there by myself with nobody running around at my level, like I think I was level 12 or 13 when I did it the first time. I was like, I immediately found my hazmat suit, and then someone dropped a bomb. I was like, yeah, let's go. And I just got my ass handed to me over and over again. I didn't get any of those super good XP or rewards because I couldn't kill anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go in there. The hazmat suit will keep the rads off of you, but it won't protect you from the enemies.
You get hit once, you're dead.
When low-level people go there, they usually sit on top of this planter outside of the golf course and try to get shots in. And they usually can't hit you when you're there. So I suppose you could call that the exploit that is in that area. People use that to level up.
That was just going to be my next point, is that if you can't do it by yourself, you got to bring someone with you. And then if you don't bring a couple of people of your own level, it's best to take someone who's like way, way higher than you. Like my relationship with Alex, he took me down to the Cranberry Bog area where the glass caverns, and we fought a bunch of stuff down there. Now my character jumped from a crazy like 15 to 25 or something in a very short period of time because I was getting one hit in on these huge monsters that were worth 300 XP or whatever, and then Alex would come along and save my ass as I ran away.
Get behind me, Mr. President.
Exactly. I'd get one shot in, and then I would run away, and Alex would come in and kill the thing.
That's awesome.
And I would get every bit of XP that he would, if not more, because I had the whatever citizen perk that gives me 15% extra XP. Inspirational. There you go. And then I found out that if you pick lots of cranberries down there, those also give you bonus XP, like a 2% bonus XP for the juice, and for the cobbler, I think it's even 5%. So I like that bonus XP stuff. So I get that stacking, and then I have Alex take me around. And I just like get one shot in, run away, get one shot in, run away. And then, just power your character up through that. Now, Alex, your character is super high leveled. When you were low leveled, everyone else was low leveled too. So you didn't have someone who could like pull you through situations like that.
Yeah, we sort of built up. We had a lot of hairy fights. I remember just if we would run 3 deep, we would get a lot done that way. So having teammates, if you're lower level, if you're all around the same level, even if you're fighting enemies much higher than you, you can usually get through it together.
Yeah, I used the robots at the golf course to help me.
Yeah, you can kite the bad guys over to the robot like hosts or.
Yeah, I was on one side of the fence and they were in the gap, and so the glowing one would come over and try to get me, but would run into them first.
Trying to think of what level made all the difference to where I could really start holding my own, and it's tough because guns don't do terrible amounts of damage. I suppose it was once I had all the rifleman cards and I had a good, strong hunting rifle going, I started to do more work. And I was sneaking a lot. And then my character, I run a power armor all the time. And that really helps because it's incredibly durable in this game. And it really keeps you from dying. Makes a big difference.
I had a really neat power armor animation the other day where it was in my inventory, so I flopped it out in front of me on the ground, and it just sits there for a second. So I went and got into the power armor. I loaded it. My character's getting into it, and as soon as it locks down onto me, it just shatters and goes and breaks, and there's tiny shards of it falling down the hill. What the fuck was that? So I took a screen capture of the video, and it's on my Xbox Friends thing. If you go back through my post, Alex, you might be able to see it. But
I will look.
What the hell was that? Like I don't know what just happened, but it was a weird little animation. Oh, and then there's the crazy. I need to look back at my screenshots because I took one of you yesterday, Alex. That was So you had the skinny legs, like the power armor glitch where the power armor isn't there, and it looks like you've ridden a horse for too long, and then someone put 100-pound weights on each of your feet and dragged them down or something.
It's been an issue since the beta. I'm surprised they haven't done anything about it.
And then you had all of your power armor was gone except for one shoulder piece only.
It usually happens when you're indoors. Something doesn't load right when you're in an indoor area, and all different variations of what a lot of people call the Slender Man start happening.
Yeah. I saw someone happened to someone in Diamond City too, so evidently this is not a new thing. This happened in Fallout 4 as well.
You know, you have to morph your body to fit into that power armor.
I guess so, unless you're I almost said Avery. That's not her name. Who's the paladin without the legs? Ugh, I forget her name.
Oh, yeah, I can't recall her name either.
All right, so those blast zones, I don't know. I need to take some people with me, I guess, next time I go, just because I tried to get some of that super sweet XP, but I just couldn't pull it off. Not high enough leveled yet. I've leveled up about 10 levels since, so maybe I should go back and give it another try. Just like when I went in my teens, they were all in their 40s, 50s. I bet you when I go back in my 20s, they'll be 60s, 70s, or whatever. Hey, Alex, when can I get? Also, would I bother him for you guys? I have to have Alex log on to when I get too much radiation because I have 3. I have 3 mutations that I really like a lot.
Oh, 3 now. I thought you only had 1.
I have the Eagle Eyes, which decreases your strength a good deal, but it ups your perception and your crit damage a lot. So I like that. I also have the Speed Demon, which is incredible. Reload speed 20% faster, and your moving speed is also 20% faster. And that is actually really nice. I like that one a lot. And the third one has got the what's the electric field against melee damage?
Electrically charged.
Electrically charged. I got that one too. So I really like these 3, and they're all fun to use together. But every time I get irradiated and Alex isn't on, I just have to go build at my camp for a while or something so I don't get into trouble. But when he logs in, I'm like, hey, toss on your genes. What is that? The
starch genes.
Toss on starch genes so I can heal my radiation without losing my cool mutations that I like so much. So when can I quit bugging you? When can I get that card and then a second one where I can level it up to level 2?
Level 30. Oh, is it level 30?
Yep.
Okay.
Will I get access to 2 cards immediately, or do they like to space them out?
If you want to be a super mutant and run some good mutations, I would get it as soon as you can. If mutations aren't so important, it can wait.
Well, I just really like the 3 that I have.
Yeah, it sounds like you'd probably like to have both levels of starch genes, so as soon as you can get them.
Well, you have to have level 2 in order to actually do the
level 31, then you'll have both.
Nice. So, okay, level 31, that's not too far. I think that I'm, level 27, 28 at this point. But Starch Genes 1 does, I don't care. Starch Genes 2 lets you keep your mutations.
That's right.
Like a real radiation. So I wonder, what does the first one do then?
Less chance for you to mutate from rads or for Radaway to cure your mutations.
Less chance. So there's no chance at the second level.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, being mutated is very fun. Now that I've picked the ones that I like and have played with them, I can never go back to not having them. It's too good.
How do you pick and choose? Is it possible? How do you farm your mutations together? Explain that process really quickly before we get into our quests.
The first time I became very mutated, I ended up getting pretty much all of them. And they're all pretty cool, except 2 of them I don't like. One because it's bugged, and the other because it's just not very good. The one that's bugged is called Herd Mentality, and it does +2 to all of your specials when you're on a team, and -2 to all your specials when you're not on a team.
That sounds incredible. I would love it.
when you're not on a team, it's not great, but when you're on a team, you're just a beast.
Yeah,
it's nice. The bug is that if you have that on, you cannot share perk cards. There's something I don't know what's going on with that, but so I took that one off, and then empath, you take 33% more damage, which is horrible.
Yeah.
The bonus is that your team takes 25% less damage. So it's nice for your team, but I was just dying left and right.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you farmed this huge big batch of mutations. Now, when you want to curate which ones you want to keep, do you just start over from scratch, or can you just start sort of using Radaway to? Can you take off the perk cards and then start using a little bit of Radaway to see which ones go away, or do they go away in the same order, in reverse order that they came, or how does that work?
I painfully had to start from scratch. And when I got the ones back that I liked, I used serums, and serums are not cheap. They're 4,000 some caps. I got most of them from a friend. I don't know if he got them legitimately or not, and then I bought a few on Marketplace, on Reddit, or through the Xbox LFG, and I think I paid 1,000 caps for a serum here, a serum there, until I got everything back that I wanted.
Wow.
What was your original question? Oh yeah, how I curated everything. So when I got into the decontamination shower. Oh, sorry, what was that?
I said, and after that, you got to talk about serums, because I have no idea what the fuck those are either. So talk about your rad arch.
Okay. Oh, I got into my decontamination shower and took all my mutations off that I had built up, and then there's a whole process to explain how I even got those. It's a lot to get into. Basically, I exposed myself to a lot of rads, and then I think I had to server hop because there was a cooldown to when you can get more mutations. So I had to hop between every mutation I acquired. So that's the way I did it without serums. So when I started over, I took them off, and then I put them back on with the serums. The serums are from a vendor from a certain area that is spoilers.
And explain what they do.
It's a shot that you can take that'll just grant you the mutation.
Of your choice?
Yeah, whatever they're selling, like you could buy a marsupial.
You buy marsupial serum.
Yeah. Exactly.
I see now.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And without knowing or anything, I'm just going to guess that's the Enclave serums.
That's right.
Yeah. They seem like to be the mysterious thing. You know, we've seen very little of what's going on there, but it's always a big mystery. Shh.
Oh, yeah. Hush, hush.
Do we even know that they're in the game yet? With all the vendor maps and stuff, yeah. Yeah, we Right on. Well, thank you for all your kind words and good information here, Alex. It's wonderful to have you on the show. So let's go ahead and get into our quests for this evening. We have Reclamation Day, which is basically getting out of the vault, and First Contact, which is finding the Overseer's camp and visiting Flatwoods, I believe it's called, and getting signed up to be a member of the Responders. So let's go ahead and talk about our characters a little bit. If you're interested in a really in-depth conversation about our characters and their background stories and everything, you can check a couple episodes ago where we did character introductions. Ray, why don't you go ahead and tell us just a little bit about your character and the process of getting out of the vault?
So Cobb ran straight out of the vault. He was so excited. He put on his Pip-Boy and went running outside and forgot, in air quotes, to grab the stuff off the table.
So they let you out without touching anything?
Yep.
Even the perk cards, you bypass the pile of cards there too?
Yep, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. It's setting yourself back a little, isn't it not? Or you'll make up for it in your first pack anyway, I guess.
Well, you set yourself back for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, they auto load, don't they?
Well, no, a bag shows up at your feet.
Oh, interesting.
When you leave the vault, a bag shows up?
Yep.
Oh, that's adorable.
And so you open up the bag and everything from the vault that that you can pick up is in there.
Now that I know that, I will never stop ever again.
Yeah.
So you just have to be patient because it does take a few seconds.
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming. I wasn't sure how they did it, but I knew that you got your stuff, and so I went running out. And
how'd you know that?
Just conversations, that we've had.
I thought it was just like a Bethesda thing where they won't let you leave the dungeon without getting the certain items you need or whatever.
And so okay, well, there's nothing here, so I checked my inventory. Maybe it just auto populates. Nope, it's not in there. And so then I started looking around again. Oh, there's the bag. It just shows up a few seconds later.
That's so funny. And then you can have the option of bypassing it and just running away from it.
Well, you could, sure, or you can just take what you want to out of it and take off.
What are the absolute vital items in that bag? Is there anything? There's no holotapes or anything for the overseer's directions. That comes from Pennington the robot down the hill, right?
Yeah. No, you need your perk cards because you don't level up until you take those perk cards out of the bag.
All right. So if you leave those cards in the bag and run away,
you're level 0.
You're level 0 forever, and the game will never let you level up ever, and you'll never earn any XP, and you'll die level 0.
No, I'm sure you start earning XP as soon as you go, but
I was joking there.
You're just behind the curve there.
Yeah.
Well, what about the camp?
It's in there. So yeah, you want to grab that. You want to get the
camp is in a brown paper bag.
So what happens if you run away without a camp?
I don't know. I'll have to try that. I smell another character coming on.
That's great. Do that. Fuck your camp.
I mean, you don't really have to have one in the game.
Just use the overseer's camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's stash boxes everywhere. I mean, you can find all the things that are in your camp other places in the game.
All right, nomad character. Someone get the nomad character going. Ray, I would assume.
Sure.
God, you need to have him meet Mr. Peanut somewhere for coffee.
I mean, I do only have 5 characters so far, so.
Well, that's all you're allowed. I think on Xbox, that's all you're allowed, I believe.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out too.
Am I wrong, Alex?
I don't know. I only have 3 right now.
Yeah, I have 3 going as well. Crazy. All right, so you found the bag at your feet. Tell me about your perk cards.
Yeah, that would have been helpful if I'd written those down, huh?
I can't remember what I chose off the bat either.
Yeah, I think it was either pack rat or dromedary.
Pack rat. So, does that affect every item or just your junk? Because that sounds like you might be interested in building almost, right? If you're investing in pack rat.
Yeah, it was junk. Well, and I did.
You improve weapons with it too, not just building stuff. I forgot about that aspect. You do like improving your weapons.
Yeah, my first 2 level ups are designated in intelligence, so that does help with repair and building your camp.
How so? What does that reduce?
Well, I think it increases the level that you can repair to, and it also opens up options for building more, complex things.
Explain the level to repair to comment, the first half of that.
Well, so when you repair stuff, there's a different. Probably the easiest way to see it is if you pick up a whole bunch of one item, and they're all basically the same level. When you page through them, you'll see that their potential line is different sizes.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And so, when you repair stuff to that, you can increase that with a higher level.
Interesting. There's a lot of different little things going on in the background of this game that I don't understand quite yet.
Yeah, well, it's all pretty new.
Was New Vegas repair system like that at all? Because I would just crunch the two guns together to fix my gun.
Yeah, there was.
I know there were workbenches. I just never ever used them.
Yeah, well, even so, if you had a big stack of 10mm pistols and you started repairing them down, you would get, depending on your repair level, you would get to a point and it would stop and the repair option would go away.
Yes.
If your repair level was higher, you could, continue to improve the weapon. So it's a little bit of that, but not quite as direct.
Is repair a perk? I know it's a bobblehead. Is there a perk card just to repair in the intelligence tree? Or column? Or card slot? What are we calling it? Skyrim's a tree. The other one, chart. Perk card, I guess. Is repair a card? I know there's a bobblehead for it.
So there's some various ones in the intelligence. There's what is it?
A good one for condition would be weapon artisan.
Yeah, or fix it good for armor.
For armor, yeah.
You can't just say titles, fellas. You got to tell me what these things do.
When they're maxed out for both of those, you can repair your items to 200% condition.
Oh, so it actually expands the possibility, and that means it lasts twice as long as it did originally.
Right.
That is awesome.
They recently fixed that in a patch. It wasn't working at all. And now that it's fixed, things really last a long time.
Oh.
Sweet.
I feel like my hunting rifle is always broken.
And you can also get, like the gunsmith perk now, instead of impacting, just the level of mods you can apply, it causes your guns to break more slowly.
What if you're playing with someone with high charisma? What are the cards that you demand that you need to be shared with you off of a really high level character? Ray, I know you're not a huge team and stuff, but if someone's sharing one of their cards with you that you don't have access to, what are you looking for?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I haven't used enough cards to know what works.
Sarah, has Phil teased you with anything yet?
He hasn't.
The sharing system is weird. Oh, wait, Alex.
Yeah.
We just brought up Phil. Were you about to bring up the beef?
What's the beef?
No.
Wait.
Oh wait,
No.
Are we talking about Santa Claus right now?
No.
Okay.
There's beef here.
Uh-oh.
Where's the beef? Oh, look at that. Did you guys hear what I said?
What's the beef?
That was on accident.
You're hilarious. The beef here is, I always like to give credit where credit is due, of course, and evidently I've been.
Oh, are we talking about Morgantown High School?
We've been giving Phil his undue explorer's credit here of discovering this this little volcano of plastic known as Morgantown High School. Now, Alex has a claim he would like to put forth unto the jury.
Unbelievable.
He claims that he is the one who brought unto our group the location of this great plastic treasure mound. What say you, sir?
I say that I didn't really need to announce that at all. But I think I may have come up with that intel a little bit sooner. But I don't know. Maybe I should get a PC and we can do a 1v1 about it.
We should set up a scrap off.
Yes.
You guys have to run through a timed event where see who can pick up the most plastic and get every piece and get out of the building. We got to set this up. There's needs to be a Twitch event, ASA podcasting sponsored, Twitch racing.
Yep.
Now, competitive gaming. We're bringing it into the community now.
It needs to happen like immediately.
This will be surprising for Phil to hear. He has no idea that I even.
He said, Phil says in the chat, "What did I do? I'm probably guilty, but what did I do?
Guilty.
He says, "I'm probably guilty?" ?
I don't know if Alex actually put it out there, so it doesn't.
I don't know how I could ever have a beef with someone who has a love shack.
10 roof rusted, I like to say. Wonderful, Sarah. Tell me about your adventure out of the vault, please, or a little small introduction to your character, and
Sure.
out the vault.
My character's name is Penelope, and we all know I am not creative enough to have some kind of backstory. So I also ran straight out of the vault. Except I didn't get a plastic bag. Of course I didn't get a plastic bag. I didn't get a paper bag. It just auto-loaded everything into my character.
Oh.
Interesting. Ray, you're PC as well though, right?
Yeah, we're both PC. That's super weird.
Weird.
It didn't give me a choice, which is interesting. And the reason I knew that is because when my husband started his character, he just ran straight out of the vault without picking anything up. And he didn't do it on purpose. He just wasn't paying attention. So I was very interested to see what would happen. And the same thing happened to him where it just auto-loaded everything into his inventory. And I am still extremely low level. I think I'm a level 7.
My character's a 2.
A 2?
So is mine.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better then. And it is so the first 7 levels, 4 of them are agility, 2 are endurance, 1 is intelligence. And I cannot tell you for the life of me anything I've picked up except for Action Girl. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Yeah,
I probably should have looked at that beforehand.
That's a staple in my game. And, I feel kind of guilty about my first Roundtable character getting, falling back on old habits or whatever. But Action Boy, Action Girl is an absolute must.
For sure. I am definitely I play like you do. So that's why we all get the same stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad at Ray because he gave me Brotherhood of Steel and he knows that's not the way I roll. So
It was Steve. It wasn't me.
I know you did it on purpose.
Okay, maybe.
But my question is,
You did say 16 rolls, right?
I did. Say 16. This is what I get. That's what I get for messing with Ray. I still haven't run into the Brotherhood of Steel in the game. However, I'm not that far in. So I'm interested to know how they play a role, but not interested enough to actually go do it. So
on my main, the character I started first, I don't like to distinguish my main. I don't, there's everyone gets a little piece of the pie, right? But my first character, which is the still the highest level, my Roundtable character is just about to pass my my first character here in a couple.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, before too long here. But that character was trudging through as fast as possible the main quest, and
that's right. That's right.
I got stalled out as I was meeting the Brotherhood of Steel, and I've been playing fucking forever.
Really? Okay.
They're fairly deep into the game if you go the same route that I did.
Yeah.
And they're still not even the last faction that you meet either. There's still more factions to meet after them. So it's just like,
here's my question. This is important. Are they still assholes?
They're more of a memory.
yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to speak ill of the dead.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, you guys, no matter how much I play this game, I still expect to meet live people. What is my problem?
There might be robots at some point that have some sort of human memory implants into them, but until that comes,
I just cannot I can't wrap my brain around it. I don't know what my deal is. I keep getting so excited to meet real people, and then they're just not there. It's just bodies. It's so sad. Anyway, either way, I don't like the Brotherhood of Steel.
And it's weird how they distinguish the bodies to me as well. They're skeletons that you can't interact with.
Right.
Just like Fallout 4. But then there's bodies that still have skin attached that have just sort of mummified. And those are like, I guess, the more recent deaths. And those are probably like the responders and people who lived during the 25 years that we were locked away. But I guess the skeletons were the older than the 25 years or something. But there wasn't nuclear blast here, right? I mean, there was mining disasters and such, right?
Yeah, Scorched Beast.
Right?
Where did they come from? We don't know that yet in the story, so I guess we shouldn't get into that yet, because that's actually part of where we're headed right now. As we go to the as we exit the vault and head to the Overseer's camp, or her next holotape, I believe, or maybe it's the one when we get to Flatwoods. But she starts talking about the Scorched and the Scorched Beast and this new enemy to the Fallout universe, the Scorched, and we're still starting to understand what that means. They obviously used to be people of some sort, but when they speak as if all of them are one, as in a hive mind sort of a scenario. So that's interesting. We'll find out more about that as we get into our next quest. It was a couple weeks ago when I actually started my character, so I didn't even write down what level I am. I don't think. Maybe I'm level 26, 27, somewhere in that ballpark. But running out of the vault, so it's been a while since I did it, but I tried to stop it, everything, and grab all the stuff on the way out. But now that I know I don't have to, seriously, I doubt I'll ever stop at any of these stations ever again. But before you even leave, though, there's an instrument you can play. I remember there's either a banjo or guitar. Thinking guitar probably.
Yep.
And that gives you the well-tuned perk or effect, shall we say? And what is that? Probably
I think it's AP regen, maybe. It's either AP increased or AP regen.
Okay. So you can grab that on your way out. You hit up the terminal to get the invitation to Reclamation Day. So what has really happened here? Did we wake up late to the party? The party has obviously already happened and everyone is fucking gone. Are we late sleepers or what happened there? We had the party and we got so plastered that everyone else is gone and we slept in too late? Is that what we're supposed to think happened? Where is everybody?
Was it Leon who got drugged? He said his character got drugged.
And that's why he woke up and everybody else was already gone?
Yeah, I thought that was really smart.
They slipped him a roofie.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Good one, Leon.
Oh.
So I think the opening line is like something about a sleepyhead somewhere, right?
Wake up, sleepy.
Say something like that.
Yeah. The pre-recorded Overseer voice.
Yes. you get a lot of her. A lot. And it bothers me that some of these things, when you grab it out of the overseer's stash or the terminal or whatever, sometimes when you grab these quest items, they launch automatically and they start playing the holotape, even though you can't pause the game, so that when a bad guy is coming,
I know, it's so annoying.
You're caught in the middle of fucking battle, and she's talking about intricate details of the story, and you can't pay attention to what the hell is going on and what is being talked about in your ear. At least I can't. I'm not good enough to do that.
You can go back and listen to the holotapes. They're in your inventory.
But you also have to find the quietest spot on earth to listen to them, because the audio mixing is really crazy. Is that for everyone? I've tried to mess with all of my audio settings, and it doesn't matter if you mess with music or the voice or the audio level or anything. The fucking holotapes are so quiet.
Okay, so I figured this out because I had to do this in Fallout 4. Is I have to turn the subtitles on. I play with subtitles anyway. I just always have. I actually
Me too.
Yeah, I watch TV with subtitles on all the time too, but that's a side story. So turn the subtitles on, turn on the holotape, put away your Pip-Boy, because that will make the subtitles come on, and that's the only way that I can really understand the holotapes at all. I can never hear them. It's so annoying.
If you have your Pip-Boy up, Pip-Boy up, the subtitles won't play?
No, they won't.
Oh my god.
Put your Pip-Boy down. It took me forever to figure that out.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so we wake up late to the party, I guess, or late after the party. You stumble through these different stations. There's a beer pong station. I remember you see like a little soccer field, like a little half soccer field in there.
Would have been nice to try to kick the balls around with people.
They don't let you interact with anything in there, though.
No.
I go to the bathrooms and hit up the stem pack, like the med boxes or whatever. I mean, come on, let me look in that mirror. Let me look in this. Nothing, man.
And the cafeteria is locked.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
I've got the munchies.
And one in. So
there really is. There's a lot of stuff in the game that you can't interact with. I mean, how many? Soap is a valuable commodity for the oil.
Yeah,
and yet 9 times out of 10 you can't pick the bar up because it's not interactable.
Or I hate that if as soon as you pick something up, it doesn't exist anymore. Like you can't find a garden gnome out and about and put it into your inventory, and then when you get home, bust it back out and display it. You have to find its fucking plan and build it yourself. I assume that's one of the things you'll eventually be able to build. I haven't found that plan specifically, but you just should be able to, or this. Okay, this is one of the things I did with role playing. Is if I was doing my character and I happened to kill someone on a path and I didn't want someone to follow me, I would drag the dead body off the path so no one would see that I was in the area. We can't drag dead bodies off the, like where they lay is where they lay, and then 10 seconds later it's a pile of flies.
Right.
Yeah, I miss being able to drag stuff around for sure.
I can't drag away the dead bodies or whatever. That bothers me. Oh well, that's fine. I'll get over it, guys. Don't worry. The different stations on our way out, you hit a hydration station where they explain about hunger and how this is going to be a survival light game. There's a health and medication station where they probably give you a stem pack and maybe a rat away or something. Building supplies, I don't even know what they give you. Probably some wood and steel.
A little concrete in there.
Concrete, probably something to build. I was about to say water pump, but they don't even let you. They make you find the fucking water pump plans. But they actually stick those in the overseer's camp. Is that a permanent thing? Because I didn't have a water pump at my camp for weeks with this character. until I just went over to the overseer's camp yesterday. I was like, oh, look, I got my little hand pump water thing. So that must
your metal bed.
And the metal bed, yeah. That must be there, all the time. And her little camp there. Building supplies, you get your party hat. And at the party hat station, they sort of explain how teamwork works. So you can team up with different people out in the wasteland. I've seen lots of people wear the party hat out and nude, but just the party hat. I was like, yep, that's good. Then you run by and it gives you a camp. It explains your camp system, how to set that up. The overseer's talking all the time. There's the personnel terminal there, and it says anyone who's not management and getting into the personnel computer should be punished immediately. So, yeah. Perk card pack. It looks like it gives you a whole pack, but then it just busted out one card. You guys just got one card?
Yep.
Okay. So there was debate earlier whether you got the whole pack or not. It seems like it's just the one card. Was there ever, even back in the beta, did you get all that pack?
I don't remember it ever being more than one card.
Yeah. So we got our one card. Has anybody actually been looking at their assigned, like what perk cards you're supposed to latch on to once you get those? Have you guys, when you've been leveling? I know, Ray, you're only level 2, so you probably haven't been put a lot of thought into this yet. But yeah, I'm actually ignoring the one for luck, dry nurse. I don't even remember what it does, but I looked up what it does. I was like, I don't like that. I'm not going to look at that yet. I'll fit that in later.
I think the first one I can get is my perception, and that's green thumb. That's level 4.
That's actually pretty useful in this game since there's forced, hunger and thirst. Since they force farming onto you, green thumb is actually pretty useful. And also the meat one, they have carnivore. No, that's the mutation. I don't know. There's a perk card that doubles your meat. You can harvest the animal, but then you press Y to search further or something almost, and you can
find more meat. Yeah, I forgot the name of the card.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. I have my endurance one maxed out already. Dromedary. Pretty useful for the survival aspect of the water, beverage, and stuff. I've got Happy Camper for my charisma. I haven't taken that yet. I was doing the inspirational. I've got that one maxed out. Team Medic is my next one, and that one is when I use a stem pack, teammates standing around me also get healed for 50% of the value, I believe. So that's a pretty fun one to share with everyone. When I've been playing with Alex, I've been sharing my luck perk of Lucky Break, which gives you the benefit of having your armor be able to have the chance of being repaired when it's hit. Now, Alex, I was going to ask you, have you messed around with that one much? Is it does it repair just a percentage, or does it doesn't just repair it all the way, right?
Not all the way, no. Yeah, percentage. Okay. And I'm still not 100% sure if that was working for my power armor or not, or if it's just regular armor.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. If that was just, I bet you it's only for regular armor. I doubt it's for power armor as well. They probably have their own perk for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many cards to play with. I bet you they, crop that off into its own category. Now, let's see. You exit the vault. You get cards. You level up. You get 200 XP. And that basically forces you into level 2. Down the hill, I ran into Pennington. He gives you a tip that the overseer was headed to the location that was south on the road where the road meets the river. You can either go cross country, sort of, backwoods it a little bit, or it can follow the footpath down to the road and the road over to the river. There's a nice covered bridge. Look in the bridge. There's sort of a collapsed area with a truck with I think there's a yellow crate or something in the back. Grab I forget what was in there. Maybe a frag grenade or something. But just up the way a little bit is the overseer's camp. And then we will kick off first contact. Actually, that first contact probably kicks off when you leave the vault. Yeah, so when you roll up to the camp, you find all sorts of cool little stuff, like your first introduction to all of the crafting. I think there's probably a weapons, maybe an armor. There's definitely a cooking station. There's a stash box. I don't believe are there tinker benches and chemistry benches? Probably not.
I think it's just weapon and armor.
Yeah. And you go through the the training session of how to build armor and a weapon.
How does that go?
Craft. They want you to craft. Isn't it one melee weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always go for the hatchet. I needs me a hatchet.
Yeah, I've made the throwing knives.
Ah, fun one.
Their damage is crazy high. The throwing weapons in this. You guys notice that the what is the throwing axe? What are those called?
Tomahawk.
The tomahawk and the throwing knives are just crazy high damage. They're just begging you to do a sneaky ninja character like that. I know we talked about that in a previous episode, but they're just begging for that build. And the goddamn sneaky archer. They had to bring crossbows in. I haven't even seen one yet, I don't think. You used a crossbow yet, Alex?
I've had many of them, and I haven't taken time to play with it. Just more of a weight issue for having to carry one more thing. But eventually I'll be checking them out, yeah.
Can't wait for you to be able to enchant that thing with,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a vampire's bane curse or something.
Put a little paralyze on there.
Yeah. Keep your stupid bows and arrows in Skyrim. We don't need them here in Fallout. If you are going to bring them in, do it right. Make me a fucking compound bow. You know what I mean? That is a good weapon.
Mm-hmm.
The Walking Dead brought that back into popularity recently. That's something you could use, right? Makes total.
I'd prefer it to the crossbow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Going off on a stupid tangent. As you're leaving the vault, you can run into a responder dead there on the ground. Maria Chavez, I believe her name is. You can pick up her note, and she had some instructions that she's supposed to keep checking in on Vault 76 because eventually those doors are going to open. What do you think killed her? She's coming back to check in on Vault 76, just like passing raiders, the little communist robots in the area, because you run into those little communist robots. What do you think her story is?
Well, she probably ran out of water.
Yeah. The Liberators are right there, so
yeah.
Could be that or maybe some ticks got her.
Oh, the ticks.
Did we talk about the ticks on previous episode? I don't think so. I think that was on the side. What was the story with the ticks you were talking about, Alex?
Oh, ticks. Everyone pretty much dislikes them, but they have a very valuable piece of aid called tick blood, not to be confused with the tick blood sac, which I forgot what that's for. But the tick blood itself, you can turn into blood packs. And blood packs you can turn into stim packs. And if you can combine your cards right, you can make a ton of stim packs, which I know a lot of people have a hard time getting stim packs. So it's a great thing to keep in mind. Save up your tick blood.
Good to know.
Do you want me to get into the perk cards dealing with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Chemist, you can craft double. So if you have one tick blood, actually no, it's 2 for one blood pack. So that would make 2 blood packs, and that would make 4 stim packs. And if you have super duper on, that's a level 50 luck perk. As well, you have a 30% chance to craft double again, which stacks. So you can end up, with if you have 2 tick blood, you can end up, I don't know what's the math. If you keep doubling stuff, eight stim packs or something, 16.
So
Yeah.
at that point, you're building a character who's going to be a medical merchant in this wasteland. Who, because once you get to that point, you've had this perk the whole game. Supposedly, you're building up as you go. You've got enough stim packs to last you the whole rest of your life that you'll never even use. So, are they expecting you to sell these to people to build an economy around this or something?
I think there is definitely a market for stim packs. I haven't tried selling many. I like just handing them out to friends and stuff, you know.
You also mentioned earlier the Reddit marketplace. Would you like to mention that to explain that a little bit to me how that works?
I forgot what are they? I'm a bit of a Reddit novice. I forgot they call it, like, the title of it. I think it might be Marketplace 76 or something. And you go on there, you put on, if you want something, you make a post with your platform. Then you put, like, H for have, you put what you have, and then W for want what you want. And you can sort of trade with people, buy and sell. There's a bit of risk if you want to trade items rather than just doing caps, because there's no secure way of trading an item with anyone. Like, if you put yours up for them to grab, they could just grab it without putting up theirs for you to grab. So you have to just hope people honor the trade that you agree to. But it's a good place if you're looking for things in particular that might be hard to get, or, you know, some people just have loads of materials that they're trying to get rid of. They can go on there and do offers and stuff.
That's way over my head, and I'd probably just mind my own business over here and try to find it.
You can use the LFG too on Xbox. I don't know if PS4. I assume they have some kind of LFG as well. That means looking for group, and people make posts on there for buying and selling things.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that whole thing existed. There you go.
I used the marketplace recently on Reddit to get power armor crafting services. I've had people craft nice mods for my power armor. Get some calibrated shocks for T51 to increase my carry weight. I think I paid guy 500 caps for one leg, and I provided the materials for him to craft it. And it's a pretty nice mod, so it's wonderful that you can get on there and find people who are willing to do that for you.
They separate each fucking leg in the mod. That doesn't cover each leg. That's so stupid.
One shock per leg.
That's frustrating.
Oh yeah, you gotta grind.
All right. So Sarah, how did you find the overseers camp there?
I mean, because this is my second character, I just kind of ran to it because I know where it was. With my first character, I just kind of rambled around and found that awesome. Please excuse the alarm going off in my background. My house is fine. It's not burning down.
Just
you know, it's fine. Just ignore the house burning down in the background.
in the background.
I found that cool lumber yard. So after I found the overseers camp this time, I ran over to the cool lumber yard. But it's really close. I mean, the camp is pretty close by.
Yeah. And after the camp, the overseer, you pop in her. She has a holotape there in her stash box. When you get there, you pop that in. She signs off there saying, "I'll be at Flatwoods next, so come find me." And then at that point, the first time I played this, I was like, "Okay, I see a pattern forming now."
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we're gonna just miss her every step of the way, and she's gonna be dead at the end.
Oh, totally. I mean, everyone is, right?
Yeah, I realized that pretty quickly. I was like, "Oh, okay."
The robots are living.
Yeah, they own everything. Those robots, they're living large. You're right. This is that bleak future that they've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to Flatwoods, she tells you that you need to sign up to be in the responders. Why does she want you to be in the responders?
Some good Samaritan work.
I guess she had seen some evidence that they were the only people trying to do anything to help. So like if we have any hope at all, it is in with these people, the responders. So she wants you to go sign up to be part of the responders. The first place you go to in Flatwoods is the church there.
Mhm.
Looks like it's been set up as sort of a field hospital. There's even if you look at the terminal, there's patients and everything listed into the terminal. So I believe there's some medical supplies laying around. Anything else interesting in the church there?
In the bell tower, there's usually a teddy bear, sort of in a weird situation, with a little newsboy cap on and a pipe wrench.
They always love those cute poses.
Yeah, and the bodies on the beds usually have decent loot.
Yep. And then on one of the bodies is the holotape that starts the responders, our stories, or whatever. Is that Maria Chavez? The dead body that you pick up the holotape from?
There's a note on her, but I know that she is mentioned in the terminal too. So
Yeah.
she's we'll definitely hear more about her as we learn more about the responders, I have a feeling.
And then you have the overseer's stash inside the church.
What are we finding in those? Like I've been getting a couple of purified waters. I don't know. What else is in there?
Weren't there some plans in there?
I think there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's usually a plan. There's some food, water.
The first plan I remember was the hand pump for water. I don't remember what I got at the church though.
I think I might have gotten the metal bed.
Yeah, that's on the crate.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense for the field hospital there, the metal beds. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really remember. It
You said the
wasn't
plans are
spectacular.
You said the plans are on a crate somewhere.
Yeah, in the overseer's camp.
Oh, you're right.
The crate is the metal bed plans.
That's right.
Oh, at her camp, not at the church.
Not at the church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
Here in her holotape that you find at the hospital, she wants you to go sign up for the responders, of course, but she also starts bringing up the scorched. I think this is what she's first mentioned of the scorched. How they used to be people. They have a hive mind mentality. She said we expected mutations, but not this. This is way worse than we were ever expecting. And the Scorcher said, we are one. And she thought that was really strange. One what? So what do we know about the Scorched at this point in the story? This is a brand new bad guy in the Fallout world. I want to say it's maybe sort of going to start off a new lore segment, kind of like how the super mutants aren't really created by the bomb radiation. They're created by the virus, an evolutionary virus. So the Scorched have their own sort of backstory as well here. You guys, what do we know about the Scorched? Anything at all at this point in the game?
Well, at this point, you may not have even seen one.
You're right.
Because I think, in Flatwoods, you run into ghouls.
All ghouls and robots.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you go across the bridge to the greenhouses, you're probably not going to run into a Scorch.
I think there's some down by the river. So along the road, there's the river that runs parallel to it. I think I might have run into a few down by the river when I was out exploring. But if you're on the road, I don't think you do.
Wasn't there one farmhouse? I can't remember if it was on the way to Flatwoods or not. I may have detoured a little bit, and I ran into some there. I forgot the name of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just when you come across the covered bridge, and you're standing looking at the overseer's camp, to the left up the roadaways is that I think it's like it's some kind of industrial building, a factory of some kind, but pretty lightweight. That's got some scorched in it. But yeah, so at that point, you could very easily not have seen any scorched yet.
Yeah, we don't really know much about the scorched, and I'll say for my character who's done everything, I still don't really know much about the scorched. Haven't read enough, I suppose.
Yeah. All I know is that when you kill them, you don't necessarily get the weapon they were carrying.
Funny how that works out.
Yeah. That's the truth. Does that happen with the super mutants in this game as well? Is it all the bad guys or specifically the Scorched that
I think it's all of them.
Yeah. Just the most egregious are the Scorched. It seems like that's what I'm exposed to most as I'm running around randomly throughout Appalachia. What I run into most is probably the Scorched.
Yeah.
I would say.
So at some point during the game, does it explain that super mutants are like immune? I don't want to give
to the Scorch virus
away. Yeah.
I have not seen a Scorch super mutant now that you mention it. That'd be pretty cool if that existed.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I mean, super mutants are alive. They're the closest thing you have to a human being in the game. I guess I'm just wondering how they...
And there are other Scorched enemies. Like I've seen Scorched Deathclaw, Yao Guai, and Fog Crawlers.
Scorched ghouls, which just is basically...
What? I've never seen a Scorched ghoul. That's funny. Because if you think about it, yeah, like really it's just the humans that are gone.
It's because super mutants are strong.
So would they be green with red crystals instead of red with green crystals?
Maybe.
What's that? Ultrasight crystals, something?
Oh yeah, the ultrasight. That's whatever material is associated with the virus that comes out of the ground.
And there are crystal shards of it coming out of the Scorched, and ultrasight is one of these components that we like to search for an end game sort of power armor or something. What is it used for? Power armor mods or something?
Yeah, there are prime receivers for weapons. So there's ultrasight ammo that you can shoot out of those weapons, and then there's ultrasight power armor. And there might be some lining for regular armor. I can't remember exactly.
And they make it the sort of end game sort of commodity, but yet it's on absolutely every low-level Scorched you come across. Why can't I pull that off of his fucking face?
No doubt.
Just get me my pliers. I'll pull it out myself.
Because it turns into flies 10 minutes later.
Guess he's a pile of fucking flies in 2 seconds. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Ultrasight flies.
Ew.
So the quest closes out with first contact by the the holotape ending, her telling you to find Kesha McDermott. So like, ooh, what's that name? That's a name I assume we'll run into a lot coming up with the responders. You trot over across the street to the registration terminal. You get the 130 XP for cashing that in, and at this point, how many XP do you need to level up? Are we leveling up basically right there again if you hadn't already? If you went straight for the first 2 quests, are you leveling up as you cash in each of them?
I don't think it's each one, but I know with this character I've done pretty much went straight for these first 2 quests early. Don't hate me. And I'm pretty sure I leveled up very close to there. And then I started running out and doing other stuff. So, but it's pretty quick in the beginning.
I'd like to see the numbers. I wish that they showed me how many XP I have. I know there's a bar, like in Fallout 4, there's the bar, but according to Shalene, older Fallout games used to show you the actual number you have and how much you had to get to in order to level up again. So you would see how many XP you got, because now that's just the bar, and you can see, oh, I got 13 XP for killing that guy. I got 26 for killing this guy. But you don't actually know what good that's doing you because they don't tell you the numbers. You can just sort of gauge, and you have to guesstimate. I mean, I would like to know the physical numbers of how many actual points I need to get to the next level, you know? How many fucking leather bracers in Skyrim do I have to build to get to the next level?
Doesn't Skyrim tell you?
They probably do. I don't know.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've played now, but I seem to remember doing the same thing. I didn't make leather bracers, but crafting.
The whole leveling up is just totally different. I remember how I thought Fallout was a terrible level up system when I first played Skyrim. I came to Fallout and I was like, oh, it's only experience based.
Right.
Like Skyrim is so channeled to each and every aspect. Like you get better at the thing as you use it. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm still kind of, every once in a while I get mad at Fallout that my sneak isn't getting any better.
As you're sneaking.
As I'm sneaking. Yeah, every once in a while I'm like, oh.
Yeah, riflemen should increase as I'm shooting people.
Yes, 100% agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I agree too for sneak, because I usually like to sneak. And when you max out that card, it's, you know, it's good, but it's not as good as it could be, I think.
And we discussed this earlier, Alex. You got max sneak on you. I've got max sneak on me. If you share your sneak card with me, my sneak doesn't get double good.
Yeah, no, I think they cap it out at whatever the card's max is.
They don't want me to turn into a ghost.
That would be awesome.
So we cash out first contact for 130 XP, most likely a level up if you hadn't done that yet. If you hit that rad stag on the way down, or there's that little house, that little farmhouse you can go to scrap some stuff, sort of southeast of the vault a little bit there. I do a little bit of scrapping, do a little bit of collecting. There's some sort of abandoned camp around there somewhere too. What are we finding around the vault? There's some fun little locations around the vault. Off directly east, there's a like a trash heap that we defended for where Juan and I had our showdown for the Xbox Stream Team, which some motherfucker tried to take from me today, Alex.
Yeah, I fast traveled to you, and there was a bit of a mess over there.
Yeah, he was fucking. He took my workbench. I just noticed that over there at I'm forgetting the name of the location, but it's sort of like a trash and recycling, sort of an old car lot sort of type thing, like a car recycling lot, maybe.
It's a junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's the black titanium, that crazy thing that you have to kill death claws and mole mine men to get, that you need for the excavator armor. There's a mine for that, not mine. What's it called? A little outcrop, whatever those things are called.
Extractor.
There's an extractor for that there. at that location. I was like, holy crap. So I set up a little camp and I was trying to see, well, as during my play session today, I was seeing how many of the little, that rare commodity I could get. And so I like left my camp and then I got involved in something very time consuming. I was getting trying to get the power back on to the Thunder. What was it called? Thunder Canyon?
Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain. Trying to get the power back on a Thunder Mountain. And that was like, that's an event that gives you an hour long to do. I was like, oh, I'll be able to do this real quick. And it turns out that I failed that event, wasted about an hour to do. But now that I have a better idea of what the quest actually entails, I might be able to do it a little faster next time.
I wanted to help, but I think, and I don't like this, they should change it. I got there maybe a little too late to where I could join the event. There was no way for me to join it, so I had no waypoints to see how I could help you. And I wish it wouldn't be like that. If the event is ongoing, especially if you're on someone's team, they should let you take part.
Yeah, you were on my team. You should have been able to fast travel in and just join me. I don't know why I didn't prevent you from doing that. That's really weird. I didn't know that they didn't. I was like, hey, what are you doing? Come help me. I don't know what to do, man. I'm it's not my event. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. I'm a giant dummy. So that will take care of our quests that we got into for this evening. We do have an audio file, a character introduction from Ian that we'd like to share with everyone. But we also have an email to get into. Ray, you actually had a response to this email, and you had thoughts. So I thought that maybe we should just go ahead and get to this email on the show. Do you have your email pulled up there, Ray? So why don't you go ahead and read the email, and we'll sort of discuss what this topic is.
All right, so this is from Simon. He says, hi, Andrew and team. So I've been listening to your podcast for the past couple of months, but I've found it very interesting. I love the Roundtable segment. My friends and I have been Fallout fans for quite a while. I've directed my friends to your podcast as I know they would enjoy it too. My friends and I are looking for a way to join the Roundtable. I was wondering how you felt about us running around the round table as a team instead of individuals. So we would alter the game or alter the generator slightly. As if we were a team, we would need the same junkyard camp area, etc. But I'm guessing individual stats and perks and mutations. Thought it would be interesting to have a roundtable story from a team's perspective. Please let me know what your feelings are on this and any tips or ideas that on how you would like to hear feedback from a team perspective. Simon.
Sorry, I think I said Ian at first. That was an email from Simon. You're
okay.
My initial thoughts before you continue, Ray. I just replied back, hey, that's great. Thank you for listening to the show. That's awesome. Thanks for finding us, and thanks for spreading the word to your buddies. My initial question is the most important part of the Roundtable project is the feedback. So how are you guys planning on doing that? That was the question I was bouncing back to him. And then Ray, you had thoughts on the matter, I believe.
Yeah. So I think it would work out great if they, if they took one role. So that they had the camp, the workshop, the faction, and everything, and then mix and match their team perks the way they see fit to build a team. And then for feedback, they could pick one person from the team, or if they wanted to have just one person always do it, to give the rundown of how the team played through the session for those quests. They could talk about how the team dynamic impacted how they did the quest, and what kind of interesting things happened to be during that time. I think it would be, if they just have one person, it'll be much smoother than trying to have four people tell the same story about the same quest each time.
And that'll be interesting to have a continuing story from multiple perspectives. Has anyone ever read As I Lay Dying, the Faulkner story? It's really great the way it's told. Each character is the narrator for their own chapter. So each chapter, the narration changes perspective depending on who is telling the story. And it's sort of confusing at first, but an incredibly intriguing way to tell a story.
Yeah, so I definitely think it's a great idea. It would be fun to listen to, and you know, it would be a twist on, you know, the other feedback that we get, you know, from individuals playing, you know, to really round out, you know, how all the different ways that this, you know, this game lets you play, and so, yeah, you know, they can come up with a backstory about how they all ended up sticking together when they left the vault or something. I think in my email to you, I suggested that they could have been a cappella group that started in the vault.
The barbershop quartet from the vault.
You know, since it's very musically themed and all.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, don't make them a cappella to play.
Make a little bluegrass band.
Like a bluegrass band. That'd be great. Oh, that's funny.
I think they should do it. Just do it, you guys. Yeah. Do it.
That sounds fun. We'd love to see how that turns out. So you have our blessing, and we'd love to hear from you and see what that project is like.
Yep, absolutely.
Good deal. All right. Well, I think I mentioned Ian earlier. He has a very interesting character role that he'd like to share with us about some very colorfully named characters.
What's up, Fallout Feed? My name is Obtuse. I am the founder of the newly formed Marsupials Herd, a community for players trying to shun the stubborn soloing thing and embrace the teaming up element of Fallout 76. I'm a brand new listener. I jumped in to find every podcast on the Fallout 76 wagon because I need to have content about the game in every way and in all ways. I want this community at the maximum degree. I have not had this much fun in 12 years with the game, online or off, I have to say. So I'm incredibly enthusiastic. I'm up to level 40 on my longest running playthrough that started on the beta when my friend invited me in. I decided to roll a Roundtable character after listening and understanding y'all's concept. The first thing I did, though, was handcraft the idea of what my challenge myself, make myself play differently concept would constitute. The way I'm normally playing is with melee and with mid-range shotguns, no real use of explosives or power armor. I play as defensive, as a tank. High strength, high luck, and decently high agility builds with good sneak and with high mobility. As a means of survival, kind of a Ninja Turtle character. My Roundtable character, therefore, is a nerd rage, high-tech, high-powered maniac. He has high perception, high intelligence as a core concept. I went ahead and built the stats before rolling anything random. Here is my character roll. Strength of 8, card bear arms, perception of 10, card sniper. These cards are defining the character's use of heavy weaponry and also long range sniping and precision. High tech. Endurance of 2, card is homebody, which allows me to utilize the camp as a charging up health and radiation regeneration stop. The character's concept is to use camps frequently, move them often, and utilize it, whereas my other characters are really minimal camp users. They set up one camp and barely, if ever, move it, except if they have to. Charisma of 9, card friendly fire. The primary role for this character is actually a medic. His secondary role is damage from decent range with high-powered, high-tech explosives and weapons. because he's a bit of a tech enthusiast, which I don't normally play in games. Intelligence of 12, card power user. This is the card that extends the fusion core's duration to double, which will enhance my power armor and my Gatling weapon that I plan to use as his main damage weapon outside of the long range sniping. Agility of 7, card home defense. This is the card that allows you to build advanced turrets. And this goes with the offensive use of camp that this character intends to use. Luck of 8, this fills out the build card of 4-leaf clover, which is the card that allows you to maximize your critical meter as a chance when you are dealing damage with VATS. This build is specifically designed around VATS and critical, therefore the luck cards taken are also critical enhancing. I then went and rolled random on the generator. I needed to locate a name and a couple other traits. For mutation, I decided to either run with none or else use Eagle Eye, and I'll detail that in my next feedback. I happened to get Eagle Eye without trying to. That's the very first mutation that rolled. It was friggin' amazing. I wanted to also get a random name that was not a normal sounding character name. The first roll actually gave me the exact stats that I just itemized, strangely enough, except for it gave me 4 additional points in endurance instead of perception. I'm still going to go ahead and roll 10 perception and 2 endurance instead of 6 and 6. That was the first very interesting thing. I then re-rolled a couple of times till I got a name that wasn't a normal person's name, and it was the name of Fucker. I remember that story that you guys recently said on one of the episodes about the new player. I went ahead and decided on the name of Fuck in honor of that story for this character. The camp will be in the forest. The faction will be with the responders. And the workshop, I need to find one in the forest that's for power, for things that will fuel my energy weapon and turret crafting. That's it for my character rolling definitions here, and I will go ahead and give you guys my feedback next time for my first 10 levels and my experience plan here to get some levels at least to level 30 or 40 before I begin the missions and the story quest lines, because I want to have the full experience of the built character, and those missions actually do scale up. And I've already experienced them with 3 to 5 characters, at least up to the point where you're a good midway into the story. So I really want to play the story and contrast the experience, making myself play in first person with long range as a very squishy character who really relies on technology and intelligence to utilize range and equipment and ingenuity to destroy his enemies, and mainly to heal and support his team. Anyways, that's it for this time, and I will look forward to continuing on this journey with y'all. Thanks for making the show. It's amazing.
All right. Well,
and by the way, if you want to know more about the Marsupials herd, you guys can find me on Discord. The name there is obtuse V13. #sign 8002. You can find me on Discord, and my profile contains the link to hook up to my team play community, and hooks up both my Xbox and PC usernames. Yes, I've got copies on both systems. I actually bought an Xbox in order to play this game with my best friend. Okay, that's really it. That's the end. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
That's fucking dedication to your buddy there. I'm gonna buy a whole fucking game system to hang out online, bro. That's really nice. The high-tech character, that is one that I have never actually done. Sounds like lots of science investment. You can do lots of power armor making, repair, intelligence, high-tech stuff. That sounds like a really interesting build. That's really cool. Now, everyone out there, you can totally do what our friend Ian just... Sorry, I don't know if he wants me revealing his real name. Sorry about that. What he's done here by sort of picking and choosing aspects of the generator to use. you don't necessarily just have to stick with the solid one role. You know what I mean? The whole point of this whole Roundtable project is to be a community building experience and for everyone to have fun doing it. So if there's an aspect about your character generator role that you're not comfortable with, that you don't like, that you really think will suck out all the fun out of the project, that's not what we're aiming for. So if building a character like Ian did is something you're interested in, if that's will make you enjoy your character and explore and expand how you experience the game, then by all means, do what he did. That's a great idea. So thank you for your character submission there, Eon. Sorry, getting a cold here. Check out the marsupials. Heard he mentioned there on his Discord. Eagle Eye was a mutation he mentioned. First off, did he say that it didn't give him +4 to perception, but it gave him to endurance instead or something? Thought I heard him say that. That can't be real.
No.
What is Eagle Eye? Is that the one that gives you -4 strength, but better criticals?
Yeah, I think it does increase perception, but now I'm not recalling the exact effect.
Crazy. All right. Great for the character introduction. We're looking very much forward to hearing everybody's feedback. Please go ahead and start sending that in for next week. Go ahead and start now. Email is thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Send your 5-minute audio file, and we'd love to hear about all of your characters and all the trouble you're getting into. Before we sign off the show this evening, there was a very, very appropriate edition of Fallout Terminal Velocity that we need to get into. And before we do that, I'd like to mention we would need a lot more submissions. If anyone's interested in participating in our Fallout Terminal Velocity project, please contact Radioactive Rebecca at falloutterminalvelocity@outlook.com, and you guys can narrow down which terminals or which locations you'd like to read, and or holotapes to play, or notes to find. Anything interesting like that of your favorite stories of any of the Fallout games. We'd love to include you into our show. This is just another community building aspect, the Roundtable, and then Fallout Terminal Velocity. We'll just have all of our people running around in the wasteland, finding history and stories and all sorts of things to read and to learn about how life was back before the wasteland became the wasteland. So let's check in here with Atomic Andrew. Oh, that would be me. With our appropriate entry here, we are leaving Vault 76 and we're checking in with the Overseer's Terminal. Atomic Andrew back here. I was visiting a friend over in old Appalachia. Sort of a desolate place these days. Found a little tourist attraction, old Vault 76. They was powered up the old terminal here. Thought maybe Radioactive Rebecca would be interested. This is the Overseer's Terminal from Vault 76. Confidential Overseer's Eyes only. Violation VTP 01076. 25 years after the vault doors close, you are to prepare your citizens to leave Vault 76 and begin a process called reclamation. Specifics will be disseminated automatically as that time approaches. After Reclamation Day, you are personally ordered to find and secure 3 nuclear silos, codenamed Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. If these sites are still nuclear capable, ensure no one except Vault Tech can access or launch nuclear ordnance. To be clear, even if there are other authorities, whether government, militia, or otherwise, their claims are to be ignored. Vault Tech alone maintains jurisdiction. Next entry. Congratulations, Overseer. Vault 76 is one of the most important projects that Vault-Tec has ever completed. No expense has been spared on building, staffing, and selecting the inhabitants of your vault. The cream of the crop of America have been chosen, including luminaries from Vault-Tec University. The special classes and instruction you've received about managing a vault do not apply to this assignment. Vault 76 is special. Your mission is to see the livelihood and well-being of your residents and make sure they're ready to colonize America once the all clear is received. It is to be expected you will face challenges we haven't prepared you for. Adapt, learn, and thrive. America is counting on you. Next entry, day-to-day duties. Your job as Overseer is to see the overall health and safety of your Vault 76. Avoid loss of life at all costs. The Vault residents have been carefully chosen for their unique skills and temperament. Due to the aptitude of Vault residents, you may be presented with unique challenges in maintaining order. As a last resort, each domicile can be locked down and the resident imprisoned for any duration you deem appropriate. Enforced solitary confinement can lead to psychological issues, so factor that in. Although the vault doors cannot be opened from the inside, keep the entry clear of all unauthorized personnel. The security team will stow all weapons and munitions after the amended entry period and will be armed solely with non-lethal devices. If America is to be rebuilt, every life in this vault is special. Preserve them all. Next entry, mandatory shutdown. Our studies have shown, even after a relatively short duration of living within the amenities of Vault-Tec, that test subjects can grow to depend on them. That will not do for Vault 76. After the all-clear message is received, Vault 76 will shut down all functions inside of 24 hours. Air circulation will cease last, and you should warn the vault residents that staying inside the vault can be lethal after this period. Everyone must leave the nest. It's imperative that all residents are focused on the important job of rebuilding America. Next entry. Reclamation Day has arrived. We counted down to midnight. I haven't seen everyone cheer like that since Vault Baby number 1 was born. I called lights out a couple of hours ago. Had to get security to help a few people to their beds. Then the volunteers and I got all the standees set up, just like we practiced. Need to make the final recordings, and then it'll be time to head out that door. I wish I could be there to help everyone on their way, but I know they'll make me proud. As instructed, we set up the survival packages. I've advised everyone to run fast and far from 76 as soon as the doors open. We have no information about what awaits us. Vault-Tec says we're America's best hope. Now we'll find out. Next entry. Annual Review 2100. Another year down, our mission continues. Top issues. At current count, 6 residents are under disciplinary lockdown. That's up from 4 from last year. The morale officer has managed to quash the worst rumors about Appalachia. Cannibal mutants, burning rain, whatever. But tensions are high. It's generally pretty easy to maintain order. The pedigree of most of the residents is impressive, to say the least. But competence sometimes means arrogance, and arrogance means my authority gets tested more often than it should. Hydroponics has been struggling to keep up with demand. I've been loath to institute mandatory rationing, but in 2101 that might be necessary. 76 is full to bursting with people, more than we anticipated. Top successes. The award ceremonies are a great way of stroking the most hardened egos, since everyone's so damned competitive. The low point was someone losing a tooth in a fight over the Best Dental Hygiene Award. The senior staff has been exemplary, as always, very dependable and loyal. It's been a struggle to keep our overachievers placated, But another year down, and we're still here. The Vault 76 World Cup has proven to be a huge hit. The ball damn near broke the jukebox, but the energy in the atrium was just amazing. Next entry. No files found. Super appropriate that the Overseer's Terminal happened to fall today. I did not plan that. Just happened to be what we were doing on the show and happened to be the Fallout Terminal Velocity episode that dropped on this day. Can't make that shit up. Just happened. But they did reveal a couple of things there that I had forgotten since I'd recorded that like a month ago or whatever. They revealed to us, and I don't know that we actually mentioned this, the whole point of the fucking game is to get these 3 silos under control for Vault-Tec. That's the whole point of the game, is we're supposed to go out there and find these silos.
And get control of them?
Get control of them for Vault-Tec.
Well, seems like we kind of found them and did our own thing.
I don't think they mean for us to destroy each other. That is not how you make America great again.
Maybe that's the secret Vault-Tec experiment.
Oh, God, it's all a big experiment. You're right. Gosh. What will they do when we give them the power to nuke each other? Even though there were no nukes here.
Even though, yeah. Because, I mean, if you had nuclear silos, wouldn't you want Vault-Tec running them?
Of course. Of course.
They wouldn't do anything unsavory with them.
No, nothing weird. Nothing behind the scenes that people don't know about, of course. Nothing like that. All right, guys. Thanks for everyone for listening to the show. Before we sign off, Alex, what are your hot tips, your hot Fallout tips before we sign off for Fallout 76 here? What have you learned in all of your power leveling? What is
there's too much to say, but I suppose people haven't tried being mutated yet. Get out there and get mutated. I'm a big fan of that, so give that a shot.
In order to maintain your mutations that you like and control and cultivate your mutations, you need a level to be level 31 and get level 2 of the starched genes perk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there's another one you kept mentioning that goes sort of hand in hand with that. What is the other mutations?
Class Freak.
Class Freak, what does that do again?
It reduces the negative effects, and if you max out that perk card, it reduces them greatly to the point where they're not so crippling.
Nice.
If you have a lot of mutations without that, you're very crippled.
Yeah. Held down a little bit. That's great. Ray and Sarah, do you have any other last comments before we sign off for the evening?
No.
No.
Excited to see what the season brings.
Yep. I need more time to play.
Me too, Ray. Me too.
Well, now that all these holidays and vacations are over with, now you can finally get back to get some video game time in, right?
I know, right?
Right on. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable, and we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.